Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. The Luthra brothers, Saurav and Gaurav Luthra, the owners of the Romeo Lane nightclub in Goa, where there was a massive fire and 25 people died, they have fled to Phuket in Thailand. They were so prompt that within a couple of hours of this fire, they had already checked in at the Delhi airport to fly out by a 5:30 a.m. Indigo flight to Phuket in Thailand. A lookout circular and now a blue collar notice has also been issued against both these brothers, but they are far away from Indian law. They are probably right now holidaying in a resort in Phuket. Now the law will have to go through the grinding process of appealing through a court, the court examining their documents, the documents then being put forth before the Thai authorities, if at all they are still in Thailand or they've fled from there to someplace else. Now in the meanwhile, there are 25 families who are grieving. 20 out of those 25 families happen to be those of the employees of this nightclub run by these two brothers. The question is, they clearly had no intention of surrendering themselves, no intention of facing up to the law of the land, to facing up to justice for the 25 people who died. Now it's the job of the law to catch up with the Luthras. Will it do so? That's what we will try and explore. But I just want to bring you up to speed with a map here on our big video wall to try and make sense of just how quickly the Luthra brothers just made good. Remember the accident itself at the Romeo Lane nightclub of theirs, it happened a little post midnight. So around 12 o'clock, this was Saturday night, Sunday morning. It happened at the Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub in Arpora village in northern Goa. This was, like I said, just a little past midnight. Within 2 hours, at about 2:30 a.m., the owners, the Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra, they're already at the Delhi airport, which means somebody has already alerted them. Word has got around. They know that a case is coming up against them. The FIR has not been registered by 2:30 a.m. Not even the fires have been fully put out by 2:30 a.m. And these two accused persons are already at the Delhi airport within just a couple of hours. And then they board at 5:30 a.m. An Indigo flight, Delhi to Phuket, Thailand at 5:30. They take this flight and they've already made good from India. In fact, at 10 o'clock local time there, they reach Phuket and they're already posting about this tragedy, apologizing for this tragedy on social media, while at the same time they're soaking in the Phuket sun. And by this time, 10 o'clock local time on Sunday, the lookout circular has not been issued against them. The blue collar notice has not been issued against them. So even before the law could react and law enforcement agencies could react, they've already made good. They're now sitting pretty in Thailand. So the Goa police has acted in retrospect to after having sort of let go of these two brothers, the accused brothers, the Luthra brothers. The Goa police is now trying to leave no stone unturned in trying to nab these wanted brothers. So they've written to the Interpol. They're expecting a blue collar notice that's been issued against these brothers. It basically means that the authorities in whichever country they are, in this case Thailand, will have to find these brothers and provide information about their whereabouts to the country of origin, in this case India. So the primary goal of the blue collar notice is to gain information that is necessary in an ongoing investigation, particularly when the accused is moving across international borders. So the whole purpose of a blue collar notice is to track individuals who may be named in criminal complaints, who may be named in FIRs, who may be suspects, even witnesses, or simply persons of interest in a case, and to find out more information about them in a foreign locality and then transmit that information to the place where the crime has happened. So this is step one. The law enforcement agency requests the details from the Central Bureau. Now the Central Bureau then determines the need for the information about the person who is in another country. The National Central Bureau then forwards that request to the Interpol General Secretariat, which is headquartered in Lyon in France. The Interpol then reviews the material that's present before them and then takes a call, bases that request. It compiles with its constitution, its rules, and once it's approved, the Interpol then circulates a blue corner notice to all 190 member countries who are part of the Interpol intergovernmental agreements. Once this notification is issued, a blue corner notice, which is sent across all global police communication systems. Law enforcement agencies in member countries, so Thailand is a member country, India is a member country, they access this information, and it is upon them to locate the individuals concerned. They have to find out information about the activities, then share it back with the requesting country through their respective NCBs. Now, the notice itself, in this case, it's a blue corner notice, it's not a red corner notice. A blue corner notice does not compel the member countries to arrest or take any coercive action against the individuals who've been named. Any subsequent action, whether it's an arrest, whether it's an extradition, that cannot be handled by just the local authorities. It has to be in accordance with whatever the national laws are. It has to be in accordance, for example, in this case, as per Thai law, which means the procedures of law in that member state concerned, in this case Thailand, that will have to be fully executed, which means a Thai court will have to peruse all the documents that have been submitted by the CBI or any Indian agency that's making that request through the Interpol. They will have to be convinced that yes, there is material reason for why these two accused persons need to be sent back to their host country or the country from where they originated. And then a court of law has to pass an order for the extradition of these two individuals. It's a long process of the law. So it's not like the Luthra brothers are going to come back tomorrow or day after or next week. The whole process of law has to play itself out. So far, the government in Goa has intensified its crackdown. They have razed down what they call our illegal properties belonging to the accused brothers. They have also launched this manhunt, international manhunt for the Luthra brothers. So while the law tries to catch up with the accused, the families, there are 25 of them who are waiting for justice for their loved ones. We spoke to one such family.
हमने 11:15 के अप्रॉक्सीमेट वहाँ पे एंट्री की थी क्लब में. बस वहाँ पे म्यूज़िक चल रहा था, डांसर्स थे, डांस कर रहे थे, इंजॉय कर रहे थे हम लोग. हम इनफैक्ट हम वीडियो भी बना रहे थे. तो वहाँ पे गन फायर जो चलता है, परफॉर्मेंस के साथ जो चलता है, स्पार्कल गन जो चलता है वहाँ पे, वो भी 3-4 बार चला. मुझे सब बोला गया है कि हाँ सिलेंडर फटा, बट ऐसा नहीं हुआ. वो आग जो लगी थी मेरे हिसाब से उसी से लगी है. लोग पैनिक करने लग गए, लोग भागो 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 पैनिक करने लगे, चीखने चिल्लाने लग गए. एकदम से इतना धुआं हो गया वहाँ पर. मैं थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ी, मेरी फैमिली थोड़ा सा पीछे रह गई. लोग धक्का मुक्की करने लगे और मुझे ऐसा लगा कि मेरे हस्बैंड ने मेरी तीनों सिस्टर को साथ में लेके वो नीचे चले गए. उनको
अच्छा, आपको ऐसा लगा?
हाँ, और वो नीचे की तरफ चले गए शायद. मैम कंपनसेशन जो भी वो बता रहे हैं, मुझे एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं है वो कितना है, बट जैसे मुझे मेरे फैमिली मेम्बर्स ने बताया है, बट आई एम नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद दिस. क्योंकि मैंने अपनी फैमिली के मैम 4 लोग हुए. मेरे हस्बैंड जो मेरी फैमिली के करता धरता थे. क्या होगा हमारी फैमिली का? मेरी मम्मी के, मेरे पेरेंट्स को देखो मैम, उनके एक साथ 3 बेटियाँ, उनके एक जवाई एक साथ ख़त्म हो गई. 4 लाशें घर से निकली है. उनकी सिंपैथी से क्या होगा? जब उनको बचाने का टाइम था तब उन्होंने किसी ने एक्शन नहीं लिया. अब वो सिंपैथी दिखा रहे हैं जब सब लोग खत्म हो गए.
Before we open this up to our guests, I want to go across to my colleague Yesha Kotak, who's joining us live from Goa. Yesha, so the Goa authorities, the local police there, have now taken some action post facto. I believe one of the 3 pubs that these accused brothers own there, that's been destroyed, that's been demolished. It was apparently built on illegal land. Now, again, the question that's being asked is, why didn't they know this before such a terrible tragedy happened? Why are they taking all of this action now post facto, post the incident?
Absolutely, Zaka. In fact, when we speak of the action that was taken this evening, around 198 square meters of the property, which is Romeo Lane, one of the properties which had several illegal construction, was in fact brought down by the authorities. Now, what's important, like you rightly mentioned, that why is this action being taken post facto? As far as details that we've been able to obtain are concerned, it is clearly mentioned that in May as well, a notice was issued to the same Romeo Lane asking to bring down the illegal structure. In the defense of the authorities, they said that time and again there has been action that has been taken against this very club. But, despite all the action being taken against them, the illegal structure keeps coming up every now and then. In fact, speaking further about the same, they said that it is during the peak season, during the visitor season or the tourism season is where action is usually taken against this club, because this club is right across the beach But after a point of time, the club continues with its illegal construction. Now, of course, this is not only pertaining to this Romeo Lane, but when it comes to the place, the club where this very tragic incident took place, that is birth by the Romeo Lane, even there have been several irregularities, several illegal construction that was pinpointed. In fact, we've been reporting on this ever since day one. The fact that there were two decks that were built, the permission for both those decks was not present, fire NOC was not present, several other requisite NOCs, they were not in place. In fact, when it comes to the fire show that was held on that very day, as a part of the protocol, it is the organizers who are supposed to take permission for that very fire show. Permission for that fire show was also missing. So, your time again, questions were raised as to how was this very structure, how was this very entity allowed to operate without all of these NOCs? Of course, questions are raised from them, and to that, we've also seen how there's been blame game when it comes to the political factors
No,
as
but
well.
the
It's
fact
gone
is
ahead to
that
state that
this pub or this club had been functioning for some years now, and it had been functioning. Presumably, someone gave a clearance for them to go ahead, either the local village office or the panchayat or the local fire officer. How come none of these people are being held to account? I mean, at the end of the day, the accident happened. If they flouted norms, as is now being said post facto again, that they flouted a lot of norms, who were the people who gave them the go ahead to flout these norms?
absolutely. In fact, like we spoke about, in 2023 was when permission was given to open up this place that is bought by Romeo Lane. When the permission was given to the local Gram Panchayat then, now, post facto, after all of this has come to light, is where there are three people, three officers who have been suspended, including authorities, government officers who were instrumental in giving this permission. The question, of course, like you rightly mentioned, remains as to why is it that someone is being questioned or people are put to question, their jobs have been sacked only after this very incident came to light.
Okay.
Clearly, all of these people were in the know-how of whatever was happening, and in the police record, it's clearly evident that in 2023, the permission to open the place was given by the local Gram Panchayat of Arapora there.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Yasha, and we'll see how this story plays out. Like I said, the Goa authorities there, the local police, the state government now taking action. They have bulldozed one of the branches or one of the institutions that this Romeo Lane was running. I believe it's in Vagator Beach. The one in Arpora itself, despite multiple violations, multiple flouting of norms, lack of clearances, I think there will be action taken there as well. But the moot point is the two accused persons, the owners of this pub, this nightclub, they are now in Phuket and they're sitting pretty and they're running away from Indian law. Whether or not the agencies will be able to bring them back and how soon they can bring them back to face justice here in India. Let's find out from Dr. Mukesh Chandar, former DGP of Goa. We're also joined by Ashutosh Srivastav, lawyer with the Supreme Court. Let me ask you, Dr. Mukesh Chandar, so the lookout notice gets issued a whole 12 hours after the incident happens. Within 2.5 hours of the incident happening, these guys are already at the airport. Within 3 or 4 hours, they've taken the flight out of the country. The blue corner notice is issued upon request by the Interpol. Any central agency, the CBI or any other central agency has to write to them. The Interpol will peruse all the documents, all the necessary, FIR and other documents that are required, and then issue a blue corner notice against these two individuals in all the 190 member countries. My point is, these people fled away. They fled away from the law. There are 25 grieving families. And now we don't know when these chaps can be brought back lawfully and legally to face justice here in this country. Meanwhile, the people who lost their loved ones, they are the ones who are grieving. The state and the police and everybody is acting post facto after this incident has happened. Dr. Mukesh Chandar, yes. Okay, we've lost that link with Mr. Dr. Chandar. We'll try and see if we can. Mr. Srivastav, why don't you take that? Why is the law always acting post something has happened? And again, the problem is that it takes years. I mean, we know the cases of Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, etc. For years, they've been absconders from Indian law. And the Indian law has been able to do precious little to bring them back and make them face justice. What's the guarantee these Luthra brothers will not end up the same way?
See, first of all, it is really an unfortunate incident, and I feel that may their souls rest in peace. It is a very serious matter. Now, if we talk about the law part, see what happens when an FIR is registered under non-bailable section, as in this case, maybe under section 105 with other sections of BNS, which makes it bailable, and is for culpable homicide amounting to murder. Now, what happens when this FIR is registered? It gives the police authority, and the power to do investigation, and even they can arrest by giving notice under section 35 of BNSS if they feel so that their custodial interrogation is required. Now, it obviously takes some time, and if somebody flees by that time, can also go to the court through their legal counsel or lawyer, by filing an anticipatory bail under section 482 of BNSS. These are the rights of the accused also in the same law. So, see, the issue is about the investigation. The FIR is registered, and after that, the arrest is taken of a person only for the custodial interrogation at that moment. That cannot be said that the person
but Mr.
has...
Srivastava, please tell me, you're talking about the rights of the accused. But what about the rights of the people who lost their loved ones? 25 people died. 20 of those 25 people were employees who were working with this, in this enterprise, in this nightclub. And the owners, on whom the responsibility is, they've run away.
The LOC, the lookout circular could have been issued much earlier, maybe some hours before, and the airports would have been made aware about this particular FIR so that the accused should not go out
but
of the
Mr.
country.
Srivastava, these accused people got to the airport within 2 hours of the incident happening, the incident beginning. The fire had not been fully put out, before which they had already checked in at the airport. So clearly they had no intention of facing the law. The intention right from the get-go, right from the moment they got... once again, right from the moment they got word about this accident, their intention was to flee from the law.
See, as per the law, there are two aspects of the law. One is for the accused, one is for the victim. Now, if we talk about the victim's part, obviously, the FIR was to be registered, which is registered, and then these accused have to go through the proper trial process, and if found guilty, they have to be punished, because see, if you talk about section 105, it has the punishment of life imprisonment.
But Mr. Srivastava, to go through the trial, to stand trial, they have to come back to India. They have to be brought back to India. When will they be brought back to India?
This is where the authorities have to follow further regulations as they are doing. Blue corner notice will not give authority to the Interpol or the authority of the country, to arrest them. Now when the court issues non-bailable warrant in due course of time, then the red corner notice can be issued on the request of the authorities in India with the Interpol. And
by which time it will be years and years, like the Malia case, like the Nirav Modi case, like the Mehul Choksi case. It's going to be years and years and years before any of this actually comes to fruition.
See, first of all, they have the passport on which they have gone out of the country. They must be having a visa maybe on arrival. See, these things are valid only for a particular period of time. Even if they have to renew the passport, which can be refused by the, by the Ministry of External Affairs of a country.
They can seek asylum. How has Malia stayed back in the UK? He sought asylum.
Yes,
he has made a case that he will be persecuted if he is brought back to India. That's what Nirav Modi has also done. What is stopping from the Luthra brothers doing the same thing? They will apply for asylum wherever they are.
See, there are laws which are made in different countries, which is applicable in our country also. Now we have the law BNSS, which is a new law, also the BNS which is formed. If somebody is going out of the country within hours of an FIR is registered, obviously there is a protocol and there are laws which are to be required to be followed. Otherwise, somebody cannot just go out of the country and just bring them just like that. There are rules to be followed.
So tell me, once again. So tell me, the procedure now is they will apply to Interpol. Interpol will sit on these files, peruse these files, and if it is convinced, then it will issue a blue corner notice. After the blue corner notice, the Thai authorities will be intimated. Then the Thai authorities will have to go and find out where these fellows are and, if at all apprehend them, then they will have to be produced in a court of law in Thailand. A judge in Thailand will have to go through the entire case and be convinced that yes, there is merit to send them back to India. Now, please tell me,
Right.
you're a lawyer. How long is
Yes.
all of this going to take?
See, this is the normal course. It takes time. Obviously, as you rightly mentioned. See, in any criminal procedure, now the police has to do the investigation. Investigation doesn't only mean that the arrest of a person is the only way of doing the investigation. They have to find out there which they are doing. Whether the permissions were there with the club, whether there was fire NOC, whether they required.
Sir, I don't know if you joined late on the broadcast. I just spoke to my colleague who's in Goa, who has said there was no fire NOC. The fire NOC had expired. Even
Yes.
the building design and construction, there were multiple violations. People are asking questions of the village office, the panchayat office. How did they get clearances to make these building modifications? People are asking questions about the fire officer. The fire NOC was not renewed for over a year, is what my reporter just said. I mean, ultimately, all of these questions are coming to the fore after 25
Absolutely.
people have died.
Yes, the entire investigation will be conducted by the police, and accordingly, the charge sheet will be filed with all these facts as you are mentioning. And based on that, the court has to punish. Because see, the punishment cannot be given by the police at the moment. There is a way. One has to be considered to be guilty. Now,
Sir,
if an incident has taken place,
a charge sheet can be filed, but you can't have a trial in absentia. That is the whole problem.
No. The new law allows even the trial in the absence of an accused. This is what is the change in the law.
So
if
it's
the
all
accused-
fine for what they did. They don't have to come back to India and face the law. The grieving families will continue to face their grief, and the law will make them stand trial in absentia.
No. See, the extradition process is to be followed, which is followed by any country. Had it been in any other country as well, the same procedure would have been followed with different sections and with somewhat different.
Why then, sir? And my final word, I'm going to wrap up after this. Why then has the agencies here in India not been able to extradite the likes of a Malia or a Nirav or a Mehul Choksi all these years? It's been more than 10 years since they fled from this country, from the law of this country.
See, I tell you that as well. See, what happens when an extradition treaty is signed and that extradition is allowed, then the accused has further right, as per the law, to apply to the court of the country in which that accused is staying. If that country is of the view that the extradition should be, given and allowed and should be sent back, then only. Otherwise, there could be some sort of relief given by the court concerned, of the country.
We'll see. Like I said, now these people will have to go back through the whole grinding process of the law, the long and tedious process of the law. And frankly, I don't see these two brothers being brought back to India anytime soon to face justice or to face trial in this case. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Srivastava. I want to move on